name is Danielle Fisher. I'm the founder and manager of Crazy Mountain Grass-Fed Beef, specializing in high-quality grass-fed and finished Black Angus from the foothills of the Crazy Mountains. I'm also the soon-to-be founder of the Terroir of Beef project. I came into ranching kind of a roundabout way. My dad grew up ranching. My grandpa was a range soil scientist. My cousins are grass-fed beef producers in England, and both my dad and my mom are involved in the current cattle and ranching industries. And as I became more involved in local food systems and food security issues, cattle was a natural avenue to go. Most of my professional career has been in science education. I am a certified biology teacher, which has come in very handy for talking with people about where their food's coming from, the soils, the topography, the weather that goes into producing a piece of meat, the nutritional aspects, the cooking chemistry of grass-fed beef. So I feel like I'm also still very much a science educator in addition to a beef producer. I'm just going to explain what's going to happen here so we can roll. Is that Chef Michael, who's been our gracious chef today. Thank you very much. And thank you to Miss Carrie McCauley for having us in your fabulous space.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, and thank you for Dan Spur. This is serving as the basis for a Zone 4 magazine, which Dan is editor of. I emailed him and was like, hey Dan, I'm super in this terroir of beef idea. You know how Montana is like the Napa Valley of cattle. Can I do an article? He's like, that sounds interesting. I think we should send around a beef tasting. Yes, of course. So, yeah, so it's kind of the first step of that. And it'll be interesting. I'm not going to give too much away about where these meats come from. We'll talk about them after. But they're all Montana meats, small producers that I have personal relationships with. And so they've given me all sorts of information about the grazing, how these animals were raised, and just seeing how much terroir the meats are picking up. So like wine, cattle will pick up flavors from the forage that it's grown on, and our food system is more, it's like any ecosystem, it's more resilient, more secure when it's more biodiverse. There's many challenges with small-scale beef production, one being that beef is seasonal, which American consumers are not used to. It becomes ready in the late summer, early fall. And another is something that a lot of people will refer to as inconsistencies. I see this as variability, and it's awesome. So when you have a lot of small producers, they're all on their individual pieces of land with various forages that fit that land and their particular cattle operation. Therefore, as they're producing their cattle, the cattle are going to pick up flavors from the forages in which they're eating. So each little valley is going to have a kind of specific flavor that comes with the beef. This is called terroir. This is something that consumers are very familiar with the wine markets in particular. Cheese, coffee also will refer to the terroir or origins of this beef. And so this creates an excellent opportunity for educating consumers about this. One of the great things about grass-fed beef is it has a very complex flavor profile. Feedlotted beef is bred for fat, and so when you eat a piece of feedlotted beef, a lot of people are like, oh, but what they're really getting is just fat coating their palates, and it's a very one-dimensional flavor. Some have referred to it as steamed cardboard. If you really pay attention to the flavors you're getting in grass-fed beef, there's a front fore flavor, a middle flavor, and then kind of a lingering flavor, and these are coming from that, like I said, the forages and the soils where these animals are. And so the idea of the Terroir of Beef project is to start profiling some of these flavors and getting consumers into the mindset of when you go to buy beef, it's like buying wine. Everybody's going to have a different price point, and they're also going to have a slightly different thing that they're looking for. You wouldn't want to walk into a wine gallery and just be able to drink Carlo Rossi or Mondavi. You want a full spectrum of wines that taste different, have good different vintages. And so beef really is this way, and it makes it a very exciting new market for consumers. So what were kind of the general impressions on the first sirloin?
Very chewy.
I know this was a very long time ago.
I have chewy too. That's why.
Liver.
What did you have?
You had liver. Yeah, liver. I had liver.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I thought liver too.
I had some lamb venison.
Interesting. Okay, so this animal came from the German ranches, which are in Ennis.
German?
The Madison Valley area. And let's see, 21 to 21 8 months of age, and then was 10 to 14 day dry age hang. All these were dry age hang.
8 months?
21 to 28 months.
21, 28.
Mhm.
Dry hang?
3/4 Angus, so not a purebred
Oh.
Angus.
That was gonna be my other
fascinating.
question.
Yeah,
Was where was the blending and was there any going
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
Okay.
So can someone tell me what this terrain is like? Where is it? It's out
so
in
it's
Ennis?
Do you know? Well, you know Ennis from fishing.
Fishing, yeah.
Yeah, and so he's south. He's more like between Ennis and.
Is that a little more
Cameron.
flat?
So it's more flat, not as high elevation like is the Shields. Barney clay loam, so decent soil. Brome's alfalfa clover is what he says their forage is on. So food systems, like any ecosystem, are more resilient the more biodiverse they are. If a disease comes through, or pests, or there's a large change in temperature, if it's all one monoculture, it's susceptible to those changes, where if there's a lot of different parts, the system as a whole is more resilient. And so in keeping with biodiverse food systems, I'm very into the promotion of small-scale grass-fed beef production. Eating is the most intimate act that we have with nature. We're actually taking something from nature and consuming it, and becomes part of ourselves. So isn't it cool that the soil, the rain, the heat from that particular year comes into that piece of meat?